Hello. I am your robot presenter, Mr. Pickles. Today I am going to be doing a character analysis on the book Tomorrow When the War Began. In this video, I'm going to be describing how each character is connected to a certain symbol, or if the character is similar to some other character in another text. Let's start off with Ellie. In the novel, Ellie is characterized as being smart and logical as well as having good leadership skills. She also has strong desires to protect her friends and to survive. After where their group blows up the lawnmower, she has internal conflict over whether it was right to kill the soldiers. This shows her guilt. It was hard for me to believe that I, plain old Ellie, nothing special about me, had probably just killed 3 people. I felt my life was permanently damaged, that I could never be normal again. The rest of my life would just be a shell. An intertextual reference that represents how Ellie is characterized could be Izuku Midoriya from the anime series My Hero Academia. He is similar to Ellie as he has good leadership skills as well as having strong desires to protect his friends. Also similar to Ellie, he also has strong desires to survive. I like taking charge. That's not secret, and I think Homer had had enough for a while. Cold, fear, excitement. They were all contributing generously. But the greatest of these was fear. My fear came from love. Love for my friends. I didn't want to let them down. If I did, they would die. The characterization of Ellie is utilized by Marston to teach the audience the importance of having a strong will to survive, good leadership and a desire to protect friends in survival, no matter how bad the situation gets. The importance of these were shown in the scene where the lawnmower was blown up in order to defeat the soldiers. If it weren't for their strong desires to protect themselves and their friends, they probably wouldn't have survived. Next up in this analysis, I'm going to be talking about Homer. In the novel, Homer is initially characterized as being immature and irresponsible but then develops to become quite mature and serious. This is because Homer adapts to the situation. An intertextual reference that represents Homer's character progression could be Steven from the TV show Steven Universe. Like Homer, he initially started off as being childish, reckless and was a little bit of a troublemaker. Throughout the show, he adapted to his environment with his friends and became more productive and like a leader. Like Homer, he is also a funny person, and often ends up boosting morale because of this. Homer was becoming more and more surprising with every passing hour. It was getting hard to remember that this fast-thinking guy, who just spent 15 minutes getting us laughing and talking and feeling good again, wasn't even trusted to hand the books out at school. The character progression of Homer is used by Marston to show the audience how people can change in moments of crisis. Homer's progression as a character is also used to teach the audience that you need to adapt to your situation to survive. Our third character we're reanalyzing today is Lee. Lee is characterized as being quiet but strong and determined. He has a strong desire to help out his friends and feels bad when he can't. Lee is also quite intelligent as well as being calm and trustworthy. Originally what drew me to Lee was his mind, his intelligent, sensitive face, and the security that I felt with him. Homer didn't exactly radiate security. But beneath Lee's calm exterior I'd found someone deeply passionate. A symbol to represent Lee could be a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Like Lee, even when an inflatable tube man is pushed over, it still manages to get back up again. Lee was also emotionally deflated when he got shot as he couldn't help his friends. This is like how if an inflatable tube man gets shot, it actually gets deflated. He was determined to do it. He lifted his head more and started smiling. He's been depressed a lot of the time since he cocked the bullet, but how he actually said to me, "If we do this, if we succeed, I'll be able to feel pride again." I hadn't realized how ashamed he'd been of not being able to help his family. The characterization of Lee is utilized by Marsden to teach the audience the importance of being strong, resilient and determined. The importance of these were shown in the scene where Lee was shot. Even though he was shot, he was strong, and was still determined to help his friends out. Now, we're analyzing the character Fee. Fee is characterized as being sheltered and delicate. She's considered as quite fine, beautiful, and probably the least prepared out of the other characters. In spite of this, she still manages to succeed in helping out everyone else. A symbol for Fee's characterization could be a butterfly knife, because a butterfly knife could be considered to be quite delicate, fine and beautiful, like how Fee is described in the novel. This symbol is further represented as Fee was also quite deadly by blowing up the bridge. This is like how a butterfly knife can be deadly. We have to find meanings for our own lives, and this might be one of the ways we do it. I'm with Koi, scared out of my skin. But I'll do it because I can't imagine the rest of my life if I don't. It's shown through Fee's experience that she was scared, probably more scared than the rest of her friends. Despite this, she still managed to do her part in helping her friends. Fee's characterization is used to teach the audience to stay strong even if you're scared. Our next character we're analyzing is Kevin. Kevin is characterized in the story as being unpredictable and having a big ego. Kevin has a huge anger toward the soldiers and lets his emotions take control of his actions. This is a contrast to both Ellie and Homer, who use logic to decide their actions. He tends to hide his true emotions, like how he cares for the group, and tries to act tough even if he's scared. He occasionally shows his sweet side to Koi. A symbol to represent Kevin's characterization could be a box of Bean Boozled jelly beans. The symbol relates to Kevin as, like Kevin, these jelly beans are unpredictable in how they will taste. Also like Kevin, some of these flavors can be bad. Like how Kevin shows off his sweet side to Koi, Bean Boozled jelly beans can sometimes, but rarely, be sweet. Kevin was more of a puzzle, changing his attitude from one day to the next. There were times when he seemed bloodthirsty and times when he seemed chicken. I wondered if it depended on how long it had been since he'd been close to danger. Maybe when he'd had some action recently he went a bit quiet, dived for cover. But when things had been safe for a while he started getting his aggression back. Kevin's characterization is utilized by Marsden to show the audience not to judge someone by their cover. Kevin is shown to be quite affectionate toward Koi and can sometimes show his true emotions to the group. Kevin's actions also show the audience how it's important to be confident and to think highly of yourself. Our next character we're analyzing is Robin. Robin is shown in the novel to be kind, caring and have strong religious beliefs. She is also competitive, and can be aggressive, but this aggression doesn't affect other situations. She's able to stay calm and keep a balanced opinion by attempting to understand the perspective of the enemy. Robin is also somewhat of a pacifist and doesn't like to resort to violence. This is a contrast to Kevin, who can be very violent in his actions. A character to represent Robin could be Pearl from the TV show, Steven Universe. She is like Robin in that she's also competitive and can be aggressive depending on the situation. She tries to avoid resorting to violence. Like Robin, she is also kind and caring towards her friends as well as being a role model to them. Robin's characterization is utilized by Marsden to show the audience the importance of having some insight into someone else's perspectives and motivations. Even though Robin sees the soldiers as the enemy, she still sees them as people and tries to understand their motivations. I can understand why they're doing it, but understanding isn't the same as supporting. But if you'd lived your whole life in a slum, starving, unemployed, always ill, and you saw the people across the road sunbaking and eating ice cream every day, then after a while you'd convince yourself that taking their wealth and sharing it around your neighbors isn't such a terrible thing to do. A few people would suffer, but a lot of people would be better off. Next up in this analysis, we have Koi. Kai is characterized to be gentle, kind, loving but also determined. She is different to Ellie in that she is more forgiving than her. Kai isn't very confident, but gains confidence from her friends, but in particular, Kevin. Kai is willing to fight for her friends. She doesn't let her fears stop her. An intertextual reference to Kai could be Maya from the anime series, K-On! She is like Kai in that Maya is kind and loving to her friends. Like Kai, she gains her confidence around her friends. She is also determined toward a goal and, while it is difficult for her, she tries not to let her fears stop her. We don't have all that much time. The main thing's to be careful. If we can't see anything, then we just go back to Robins. If there's anyone there, the dumbest thing we could do would be to have them see us and come after us. Marsden utilizes Kai's characterization to show the audience the importance of friends. On her own, Kai is quiet and easily underestimated. With her friends, she becomes strong and doesn't let her fears stop her. This is important as her friends give her the determination to keep fighting, something needed to survive. Last, but not least, we have Chris. Chris is characterized to be highly intelligent, quite creative, artistic but introverted. He appears to be strange as he tends to smoke illegal substances. It's revealed that Chris has depression, and is also revealed through his poetry that Chris is sweet, caring and sensitive person. An intertextual reference to Chris could be Sassy from the YouTube series, The Big Les Show. Chris is like Sassy as he smokes illegal substances and can seem quite strange. Sassy, while not looking like it, is also shown to be quite intelligent as he has a great understanding of the universe. Like Chris, Sassy is also artistic and creative, the difference being that Sassy plays the guitar instead of writing poems. Chris was a lightly built boy with intense eyes and a lot of nervous habits, like coughing in the middle of every sentence. He wouldn't be into Common Day or wood chopping competitions. He was more into the Grateful Dead, Hieronymus Bosch, and computers. He was also known for writing poetry and using more illegal subnegation stances than you'd find in the average police lab or a negation Tory. His motto was, "If it grows, smoke it." 90% of the school thought he was weird, 10% thought he was a legend, everybody thought he was a genius. Chris's characterization is utilized by Marsden to show the audience how having depression brings people down. Chris is surrounded by friends that love him and support him, yet he's still brought down. Chris doesn't have the motivation to do anything and has a lack of initiative. This shows the importance of having good morale, as it gives a person motivation to survive.